Hello Commanders and welcome back to another Elite Dangerous video with Commander Shinakuma. Today we're going to be taking a look at how we can increase our combat rank by killing Thargoid Scouts. Now I am aware this method has been around since about April and Commanders have been using it just fine since then. It's also been given some recent publicity by high profile YouTubers in very polished and informative videos. But I found a couple of them difficult to follow. Could just be me, probably not the video. But I've decided to make this video to fill in the gaps that I struggled with whilst trying to complete them and take advantage of the combat rank. Now the first thing I struggled with was where to find the missions. So I went to various damage stations and didn't really find any Thargoid encounters, nor did I find any scout killing missions. Then I went down to the Pleiades sector and after quite some time in Super Cruise eventually came across a threat for non-human signal source, so I got to fight my first Thargoid Scouts. But it took a while to find, and again I still couldn't find any of the Thargoid killing missions, no matter how many damage stations I visited. So I did some research and I found out that as it stands at the moment, the only place that you can pick up Thargoid Scout killing missions, where you're guaranteed to find them, are on the two Aegis anti-Thargoid megaships currently touring the bubble, and I'll leave a description to where they are at the moment and how to find out where they're going to be in future, because of course they're megaships, they do move, so they may not be in the same location as you see them in this video. I'm also going to show you three different builds that I've been playing around with. I've nicknamed them the AX Rapid, the AX Power build, and finally the regular PvE build. So what happens if you show up in a regular ship with regular weapons? Can you still kill them? So the AX Rapid build is my favourite build. So we've got one large turreted beam laser, which to be fair isn't really going to do any damage. That's purely for the thermal vent effect to keep our heat nice and low. We've also got two turreted AX multi-cannons. Again, we can set them firing and then ignore them. We don't have to concentrate on them. And then our real weapons are the Guardian Gauss cannons. We can put all of our attention into aiming and firing those, while the rest of the weapons do their business. So here we are at the Acropolis Megaship, currently in the Magec system, I think it's pronounced, at the time of filming this video. That may not be true when you find it. And what we're looking for are destroy the Thargoid Scout threat missions. Don't be tempted, or don't accidentally accept the Medusa, Basilisk or Interceptor. They are not what you're looking for. Here you go, so your total targets needs to be about 7. So once you arrive in the correct system for the mission, you're either going to honk your discovery scanner or you're going to scan the nav beacon and go to the planet that it tells you to. You're going to orbit around the planet until this happens, mission objective detected, and then we're going to drop in and kick some ass. So here we go. Deploying my weapons. Checking this guy's friendly. He is. He's green. And what do we know for Thargoid Scouts? So let's see how these multi-cannon and Gauss cannon combination works. Now look at that beam laser. I'm not paying any attention to it whatsoever, but it's absolutely tearing that Thargoid to pieces. And those multi-cannons again, they are absolutely kicking ass, and I'm not paying any attention to them. All of my attention is going into aiming these Gauss cannons.
Target destroyed.
Right through the caustic flipping cloud. Later on in the video I'm going to show you how I trained myself to stop flying through that bloody cloud. You see, because that turreted beam laser is operating with the thermal vent, I haven't once overheated despite repeatedly spamming out those Gauss cannons. And of course the multi-cannons don't really use any heat anyway, so those beasts aren't even going to bother us. Get out. There you go. By far my favourite build for killing Thargoid Scouts. Next we're going to cover what I consider to be the power build. So all we've done is we have swapped out the AX turreted multi-cannon for these grade 3 Guardian plasma casters. They're a little bit harder to aim, but the theory is it takes less shots to kill them. So let's see if that's true. So I've accepted another mission just like before. We've dropped into our signal source and we're going to test out this power build. Am I sure I'm going to be missing more, but am I going to be firing less shots overall? We'll see. So first thing I noticed is the plasma caster and the rail guns, the Gauss cannons, have different charge times, so having them on the same fire group is a really bad idea. Played around with this for about a minute or two just to see if I could somehow try and sync them up, and the answer is not really. Of course that big beam laser is still doing its business and keeping out any excess heat. But as you can see, I'm struggling to hit anything consistent. However, when things come together well and you get that magic hit, one shot and that's it, they're done in one. So it can be done, but it just requires some expert aiming and lots of patience, and I'll be honest, I don't have it. So this particular build, whilst exceptionally powerful, is not for me. And I'll be really honest, I'm going to edit this here, but this battle didn't end so well for me, despite being clearly the most powerful ship in here. So let's just cut it here and pretend I did well. And last but not least, what happens if you bring a regular PvE ship to the into the fray? Will it work, or are the Thargoids simply too much of a match for regular human weapons? Let's find out. This is definitely me not landing with a broken canopy from that other mission. So here I am back in another signal source. I'm in my Corvette. My Corvette has got 2 huge multi-cannons and the rest are rapid fire pulse lasers with oversized modification. So let's see what happens. I'm not entirely sure for the first few seconds that ship had fully registered in game, so it got some free hits. As you can see, not quite as fast as the AX multi-cannons, but it did the job, and look at that, right through that flipping caustic cloud. Again, I promise I am going to show you how I get around consistently not crashing into that cloud in just a few moments. Just going to show one more example of the Sulaco taking on a Thargoid. And there you have it. So as you can see there, you can take out Thargoid Scouts in a regular ship with regular PvE weapons. So you don't have to run around the Guardian sites if you don't want to. So as promised, here's how to avoid that really annoying caustic cloud that comes out of the Scouts when you destroy them. So what you're listening for is the Thargoid scream, as I like to refer to it. As soon as you hear it, turn away as quickly as you can. I know it's nice to watch them go boom, but as soon as you hear it, turn away. There you go, turn now. Look at that, entirely missed me. And we'll try that one more time. Listen for the scream. And turning away as soon as we hear it, and that cloud's coming nowhere near us. And then one more time for good measure, just to prove it wasn't a fluke the first 2 times. Once again, listening for the scream. Turning away, and we've entirely avoided that caustic cloud. I know I've picked some up earlier in the video, but again, it's a great tactic. Just don't get fascinated by watching them go pop. Turn away and boost. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. The idea was not to try and rewrite what other YouTube content creators have done. They do excellent work. I just struggled to follow a couple of the videos that are out there, so I decided to make a video that filled in the gaps that I struggled to understand. If you found any of today's content useful, feel free to like, share or subscribe. I will be covering Gamescom on the 21st of August for any announcements done by Frontier Developments in relation to Chapter 3. And speaking of Chapter 3, I will be covering it live when it launches on the 28th of August. But until next time, I'll see you around.